Another day of Bengals training camp is in the books. A notable absence. Yes, Jermaine Burton wasn't at practice. The latest on Jermaine, plus the catch, at least the one-on-one catch of the year. Maybe a new phrase for Tee Higgins and much, much more right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, join the 50,000-plus Bengals fans. 57,000. Man, oh man, we're close to that 60,000 mark. Tell a Bengals fan about us today. Tell them to hit that subscribe button as we inch ever so close to 60K. Hopefully we can get there before the start of the regular season. That's a goal. We'll see. The regular season less than a month away, and it is a big week here at Paycor Stadium as the Bengals are really trying to get a ton of work in. They have 4 more practices now before their Monday night matchup against the Washington Commanders. And today, I got to be honest with you, there's a lot of special teams, going through special teams drills, working through special teams drills. But there was a really competitive 11-on-11 period between the offense and defense. A lot of the special team stuff was technique stuff. I was like, oh, we're going to get to see kicking. We're going to get to see. That was a lot of technique stuff. I don't have much to say on the long snapper battle. But what I do have to say involves the skill guys, which, knowing me, shouldn't shock you. Let's start with the notable absence and really the news of the day. Jermaine Burton, not at today's practice, was in the locker room behind me. And really, if this wall didn't exist, the Bengals locker room's right there. Was in the locker room after practice. He's dealing with an undisclosed injury, according to the team. Basically, we'll see. Because he finished practice on Saturday, dealing with an undisclosed injury today. It's not like there's injury reports or anything like that. The Bengals list him as day-to-day, or would classify him as day-to-day. He declined to talk to reporters afterward. Could be nothing. Could be something. Given how his rookie year went, naturally, you look at it and you're like, man, why isn't Jermaine here? What's going on? But maybe he was in the building the whole time. We didn't talk to Zach today. But we did talk to Dan Pitcher. And Dan Pitcher was really, really good. I really enjoyed talking with him. He had some good insight on Joe Burrow, on the offensive line battle, all of those things. So make sure you check that out after you watch or listen to this. But the thing that he mentioned with Jermaine is consistency. He's got to be consistent day in and day out. And I went back and I read something that Dan Pitcher said in June. And it was like, you got to be consistent throughout the offseason program and into training camp and into the preseason. And if you hit a bump, if you stub your toe, respond the right way. And so whatever this is, some kind of minor injury or whatever, it's not ideal that he wasn't out there today. But how does Jermaine respond? I think that this is a pretty noteworthy situation for him as he tries to get over the hump, especially when you look at it. And he's had a good training camp, but he didn't have any big plays against the Eagles. A lot of people were worried about that or wondering about that. I really wasn't. I've seen Jermaine Burton make plays in the preseason. I really don't care about that. I want him to do all of the things to gain trust of his coaches, of his teammates, and everyone involved. And that could include make plays in games, but certainly it's everything else that has been a factor. So we'll see. Hopefully it's nothing serious for Jermaine. Doesn't sound like it is. Doesn't sound like it's a big deal. If it's not a big deal, hopefully this is one of those storylines that went away and goes away fast. Noah Fant practiced for a second straight day today and was with the team, or in team drills, working on things. Dan Pitcher said he's drinking water from a fire hose right now, and I get it. I mean, this offense is complex. He's trying to learn it, but we did see some ways he could be used. He's lining up here, lining up there, running a wheel route out of the backfield, like doing some unique things that the other tight ends aren't doing, or that they weren't as confident in them to do. And I think that's interesting. That's one of the many, many things to pay attention to. I do have some practice observations when it comes to team drills. Joe Burrow, still awesome. Plus, the catch maybe of the year. And so we'll get to all of that coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by Win-Win Athletics. Look, if you're about to check out the catch of the year from a Bengal, at least the catch of camp so far, it is important to be able to play flag football on the go, to be able to have quality equipment, to be able to go anywhere, everywhere. And that's what Win-Win Athletics does. Is there's nothing worse if you played flag football than the flags not doing what they should do. And if you've played, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to check out Win-Win Athletics. It is their flag football kit. It's the best on the planet. And if you're watching this, you're probably into football. You might have kids that play flag football. You yourself might play flag football. Check them out now at winwinathletics.com. All right, let's get to some practice observations. And before we dive into the team period where the offense ultimately won, and it was one team period, Tee Higgins with catch of the year? I mean, not really. It's a one-on-one drill against DJ Turner. But this play was outstanding, just phenomenal. He goes over the top. It's like, man, DJ's in great coverage. There's no way. Oh, my goodness, Tee Higgins. And so there's two phrases. Paul Dehner Jr. said, you got teed up is like the phrase, oh, man, he got teed up. It's a good one. What about you got teed on? Another good one. Regardless, Tee Higgins balling. Climbing the ladder like that, I think Andrew Fox Miller is really going to like it. You got teed on. Shout out to Isaiah P. That's where I stole that one. Only true Bearcats fans would know that one. But Tee Higgins doing that's special because there's been a lot of comments on social media like, man, DJ Turner, what? Nothing he could do. Nothing he could do. And that's why you pay T. That's why. Plays like that. He makes plays. It's just a heck of a play. And to go over the top and boom, snatch it, you got teed on. That being said, DJ Turner played pretty well today. Knocked the ball away from Andre Josevach. Was involved in a couple of different pass breakups. But overall, this offense, they're really starting to click. They started the ball on the 1 or 2 yard line. First play of team is a handoff behind Amarius Mims and behind Lucas Patrick. Hole opens up. Boom. Chase Brown just darts through it. Huge hole. Got a bunch of yards. And it was one of those where it was like, oh, that play worked. Like sometimes you can't tell if the run game is working or not in practice because they're not full live. They're not tackling all those things. You could tell with this one. And it was like, whew. Great play by Chase Brown there. Speaking of great plays by Chase Brown, he had a really, really nice touchdown catch from Joe Burrow to end that period. And Joe just casually, not there, scanning. Oh, I'm going to roll out to my right. Oh, well, there's 30. I mean, Chase Brown has just such a great rapport with Joe Burrow in this offense. It's been really fun to watch him evolve. And it's kind of scary to think about what he could be and what he is becoming right before our eyes with the regular season less than a month away. He's going to be a weapon, a huge weapon for this Bengals offense. And that's what's so interesting about it is like the Jermaine thing, it leads the video. But in reality, he's not battling with Andre. Andre's wide receiver 3. You have Mike Gesicki, who was out again today with a hamstring, but obviously he's going to be a big part of your offense. Noah Fant. You have Chase Brown in the backfield. I think Taj Brooks is getting better and better and looks really clean running routes. And I've been watching him slowly develop in that area. Not that he couldn't do it anyway. I think he can, but this is a really pass-heavy, pass-first offense, obviously. So that's been good to see. I've counted a sack for Myles Murphy in team drills, which I think is pretty darn notable. Shamar Stewart had some nice pressures. And so this defense, they did have some plays. They did make some plays. But overall, they're figuring some things out. And that's what's going to be interesting over the next few days going into that Monday night game. Geno Stone's out. He was out again today. Joseph Osai, by the way, did not practice, so we'll see how it goes there, how they monitor him. But it means Shamar Stewart's getting more reps with the ones. It means you get to see what Dejon Anthony and Tyson Anderson both bring you at safety. And that, to me, is what's really interesting here is you get to see what Dejon can do, what Tyson can do, and get those guys moving. Doesn't mean they shouldn't sign someone. I'm not saying that because the depth there, even if you have those guys, the depth at safety is after that, who is it, right? But you get to see these young guys that haven't necessarily taken a ton of snaps on defense and see what they can bring you. Another nice play that stands out in my head is Demetrius Knight with a nice diving ball. He batted the ball over the middle. Yeah, it was a pass breakup over the middle. I'm trying to remember the play. You could probably see it because I did upload it. I was rolling on it. But, yeah, Demetrius Knight, another play. He's shown a nose for the football, been able to read and react really well. And so we'll see how that goes, how that continues, how that develops. Overall, though, I think that the team sessions have been competitive, and it's been one of those things where as bad as the defense looked the other night against the Eagles, it hasn't always been that way throughout camp, and they're playing against Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins and a really good group there. That being said, Joe Burrow continues to be dialed in. It's his best training camp. It just is. We're at that point now. It's his best training camp. He's playing at an elite level, and he's been doing it day in and day out. Like, you just know what you're going to get from Joe, and it's not good. It's great. And so, best training camp of Joe Burrow's career thus far. We're going to have you covered every step of the way. This week, we're going to have Enter the Jungle for you. Exciting news when it comes to Enter the Jungle this week. And, man, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Check us out. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. For Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to Cincinnati Bengals Talk.